What is up, and welcome back, everyone. This is your man I Do a Barber, and we're back with another full-length tutorial. So get comfortable. You're going to be sticking around with me for a while. In this one, we're doing a mid fade with a texture top or a comb over. If you look closely there, I already put in this hard part. I did it actually before we started filming, but hard parts are pretty simple. You can check out some of my other videos on hard parts, but I'm just combing the hair in the direction that it's growing. You could probably notice his hair is quite shiny or wet looking. That's because I saturated his hair, and he also has product in his hair. So in this video, it's actually funny. This video was a video that you saw yesterday. If you looked at the video of the two different fade systems. So on both sides, you're gonna see me do two different fade methods, basically my old method and my new method. The one you're watching right now, this is my old method of fading. So if you guys are familiar with the channel, this will look quite familiar. So I put my guideline in with the MBs, open the lever slightly, and I created that guideline. Now I have the 5-0 just reducing all of that bulk and balding out. After that, I will go in with the shaver and I go up about, I'd say, a ½ inch underneath that, to make sure that is extra clean. And this is actually a pretty common method among a lot of barbers, especially if you see her on YouTube. But well, in this video, if you pay close attention, or if you like have a timer on you, you'll be able to see how much faster the new method is versus this method. So now I'm just buffing out that shaver line with the trimmers. But the funny thing is, with his hair, it's very easy to fade. He has very easy hair to fade. Actually, it's kind of easy, but then it's kind of hard. It's easy if you know what you're doing. But anyway, lever open 1 inch. But with his hair, like I was saying, it's really easy to fade. Like the fade happens really easy, and it looks good when you do it well. But 1 inch guideline with the MVs. This is very typical of my old method. We would put this guideline in and then close the lever half, slightly close, and then close to remove the guideline. But you'll see in this fade method, especially once we get to the other side and then once I do the back, how much easier it is using my new fade method. It saves me so much time, and I highly recommend that you guys do this. Instead of fading like this, how you would see other YouTube barbers do, like fade like this. And I'm not gonna say that this fade method is bad. It's a good fade method. Your fades will come out good. But the reason I like my new fade method is because it saves me a lot of time. And of course, the classic saying, time is money. So that was the whole reason behind me doing it. I tried it, and I honestly kid you not, guys, not. I felt my fades getting so much faster, like automatically. And of course, I wasn't able to tell, like if you do the numbers, but theoretically I could tell. So here we got the 1.5 blade, and I'm just going up 1 inch. I'm not following the curvature of his head. You can see there at the end I exaggerated. I'm just going straight up, because we're going to come back with clipper over comb too. So now, if you guys know my methods, you know it's wall half, lever open, and we're going up pretty close to the top of that guideline that we created with the 1.5, and we're just lightening that line that was created by the lever open. So now I just close the lever halfway, and we're working our way right underneath. So it's almost like a 3-step process. You put it in with the 1.5, and then you go open with the half. That's step 1, halfway, 2, and then close the lever 3. And it's the same method we used with the lever open. So we put it in with the lever open, then we go halfway, quarter open, then close. So it's a 3-step process. So we create the guideline, and then it's a 3-step process to get rid of it. So bang, 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 move on up, bang, bang, bang. So I'm using clipper over comb right now. I've got the lever. I think the lever is, I'm not sure if it's open or closed, but I will say this. I see some people use guards with clipper over comb. I see some people, they'll use the lever open with clipper over comb. And I was a big proponent of the lever open until recently, where I realized I just need to close the lever, because I noticed when I was leave the lever open and try and create a shape, the shape was just kind of dirty a little bit. I've noticed once I closed the lever and really got in there, I really started creating perfect silhouettes. The silhouette's very clean and no problem. So now I'm just really refining this shape, because you can see a few dark areas through there, which eventually I'm gonna have to come back with the 1.5. And of course, his hair is the type of hair where if you look at it a certain way, it may appear dark than what it is. And I don't, in this scenario, I'm not sure if this is always with him, but who knows, maybe because he has some product in his hair and the light is shining a certain way. Because as you turn his head, you will see it looks fine, but at certain angles it may or may not. So I just came back with the 1.5, just going straight up, because that was just a little bit easier to do rather than, you see his silhouette. If you look, rewind that part and look at the side, the silhouette's perfect. And so now I'm just coming back with the wall half. I'm just gonna clean up some stuff. And this is what I mean about his hair being easy but difficult at the same time, because it's easy to put a fade in, as you saw, but it's very easy to leave parts of it kind of unbalanced. And that's the thing with the fade, like you want the face to be balanced to the length on top, no matter where you put the guideline, whether you put it high or low. So now here's the other side of my new fade method. So with this one, I'm putting the first guideline in with the lever closed. So I'm putting in my first guideline with the lever closed. You saw before I would come in and I would tap in that guideline around, then come ball out, then come do this, then come do this. This is almost like the 3-step drop that I told you guys about on the other side, where you put the guideline in with either the lever open and the 1.5, and then you use the 3-step process to get that line out. So where the line we created was basically with the 000. We're coming right under that with the 50, and then we're gonna come right under that with the shaver, which means once it's time for you to put your guideline in with the lever open. And right now, by the way, I'm removing bulk with the 2-blade. That's the 2-blade right there, and we're removing bulk. It's actually funny, while I was editing this video, I noticed something with his hair, and the next time I cut his hair, I'm actually gonna have to fix it. And I actually slightly noticed it when I was putting in his hard part. If anyone can tell me because it's on this side, if anyone can tell me what I need to do to fix what I see, we'll see how well you guys are sticklers, because a lot of people on YouTube love to be sticklers of everyone's work. Like, oh, you didn't do this. Oh, this. Oh, I could have done this better. Oh, you should have. Calm your ass down. You're gonna let all that get in the way of some good education. This is the problem with people. But what I see, it's not bad, but it's something that I need to fix his next haircut. Because I noticed I ran into this problem with his hard part, and then I also ran into this problem before, but I just didn't really think about it until now. But as you see, lever is open, created that 1-inch guideline. So now as I work my way down to erasing that line, I created it with the lever closed. So by the time we even get to the lever closed, the line is going to be gone already. So I'm not having a fight with the shaver line or a trimmer line, because we already erased that, because I put it in with the lever closed, then I came under with the 50 and then the shaver. So that line's done. There's you couldn't see it on camera unless I zoomed in a lot, but there was a little bit of stubble contrast that was left there. So as you saw, that happened so fast. That right there happened so fast. Now I'm already on to the 1.5. So I'm taking this 1.5 straight up off the side of his head. I'm not, again, following the curvature, because we're going to leave some darkness there at the top. And then now, wall half, lever open. Same process. And there we go, halfway with the lever. And I'm slowly closing the lever. Closing the lever. But here's one thing to note. When you're doing hair where you want to leave more hair along the parietal ridge, you need to be careful of contrast, because what's going to happen is once the hair or the head starts to turn at the parietal ridge, that hair is going to be dark. It's going to be super dark. because of course that hair is going to be a lot longer through there. So unless you just cut it all off, by all means. But if you do plan on creating a good silhouette, you need to be careful of contrast once you get up to the parietal ridge, because that hairline is going to be dark. So you don't want to have too much dark hair below the parietal ridge, and then once it gets to the parietal ridge, it's going to be really dark, and then the contrast is going to be off. So you can see his silhouette there on both sides, and that I attribute that to the clipper over comb with the lever closed. It saved me a lot of time. I noticed before when I would do clipper over comb with the lever open, I'd have to come back and do a lot of work, but with the lever closed, oh my goodness, I love it. And I think a part of the reason why I was doing that is because I was a little bit fearful. But as you saw, both sides look pretty good on the fade. So right now I'm just attacking one little area I saw there, and then I think I'm gonna attack it again later in the video. I actually didn't realize I had the camera at this angle, but just basically tackling that. So we're gonna go to the back, and what you're gonna see is the same method that I used on the left side applied right here to the back. And then this steps, I'm not moving as fast as I did on the left side. On this side, you'll see me moving at a more normal pace, more relaxed pace. So I'm starting off again with the 2 blade, and I'm removing bulk. Now, one thing that I did on the left side of his head is I should have removed bulk first with the 2.5. So for those of you that are watching, I don't recommend that you go into bulks of hair and start fading. I recommend that you debulk, then start to do your work. So as you saw, I really only debulked the areas that I need. You see, I didn't go down further down at the bottom because that's all going to be skinned out. There's no point of me removing this down to a 2. It's just a waste of time, because you see what I'm doing now. I'm coming back with the 5-0. And you saw already, I put my guideline in with the lever closed, and I'm coming right underneath that with the 5-0. And then of course, if you guys have been following this tutorial this far, you know what is next, guys. This stuff is so simple. Shaver, so simple, guys. Simple process. And in all honesty, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, you can come back with the shaver at the very end if you wanted to. You don't even have to do this process right now. You can do the shaver at the very end. I've done this before on a few clients, and I think I'm gonna come out with another tutorial like this, and I'm gonna do it on a different hair texture and hair type. Someone who has coarse hair, very dense hair, dark, something that takes a little bit more work to fade, and I'm gonna try that for you guys. So as you saw, look, because I started off with the lever closed, you see how easy it was to remove that line, guys? Very easy. I highly recommend that you guys do this. This will save you so much time. And if you guys watch the old fade method versus new fade method video, you will see how much time it saved me from side to side. And I kid you not, guys, like my haircuts have been so much faster. I swear, sometimes I'll look down at the clock or look at the time and I'm like, whoa, I'm already this far in the haircut. Yes, that's because I'm using this method. So now I have I think this is the 1.5. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the 1.5. And of course, I'm just going up here. I'm not following the shape of his head. I'm going straight up because I want to keep the darkness through there. So yeah, that was a 1.5, because now I have the half from wall with the lever open, and we're going right underneath that. And then of course we're going to work our way close. But I love this new fade method. This is my thing. It's actually funny. Well, I talked about this on the podcast actually before, which I'm not going to talk about it here. It's one of those things like, hey, go check out the podcast if you want to hear some other stuff. But as you see, like that, this method is amazing. But what's really changed is the method that I used from the lever open to the skin, not me using the 1.5 and fading with the wall half. I've always been doing that. That's not going to change because I like that. That's good. It actually works well for me. But the skin lever to the open lever, that was the biggest change, because a lot of people struggle with it. They fight with that skin line, And if you put the skin line in properly first, you won't have to fight with the skin line if you just put it in with the lever closed on your adjustable. I noticed the barbershop owner where I worked, he would do this, and he would fade with fast feed sometimes. And you know, the fast feeds, a lot of people put the ceramic blade because you can get the bottom line out, which he doesn't have a ceramic blade. He just has the stock blade on his. But I would notice he would always put his guidelines in with the lever closed, then come in with the trimmers or whatever you balled out with, then come back with a shaver. That's if he's using it. And he would never have to struggle with the bottom line. And it would always trip me out, like, how's he getting these bottom lines out with having fast feeds that he can't even zero gap? But he has his tool set up, and the methods that he uses, it works for him. And I tried it. I've seen other people try, like E. Jones. He talked about this years ago. And then I heard Mr. Eddie Barber talk about it. And then I just finally just said, let me just try it. I tried it, and I'm telling you guys, I instantly got results. So the proof is in the pudding. So the fade has come together. You see that it looks pretty good. The silhouette looks amazing. And I'm like right now, I'm just tidying up something. And I'm coming in. You see that lever's closed because I want quick action, baby. And that's the thing about me with a lot of the methods that I use and things that I've come up with. I've come up with a lot of this stuff because I'm lazy, guys. I kid you not. I'm a lazy mofo when it comes to this. Like when I wanted something to happen, I want it to happen fast. I don't want to wait. I don't want to, wait for this. I want it to happen now. It's like anything. Like if you want to be a good barber, most people want to be a good barber right now. So, if you want to learn a new fade method, you want to learn it right now. So that was the same thing like with me learning. Like I wanted to learn stuff like right now. I wanted to do it right now. I wanted to work right now. So I love that I'm starting to use the clipper over comb with the lever closed. It's making me create silhouettes much quicker, guys. I highly recommend it. Just get comfortable with it. Use the proper steps. Actually, Mr. Eddie Barber has a really good video on clipper over comb, but clipper over comb is very simple, guys. It's a really simple method and technique that will save you a lot of time because, you could do scissor over comb, right? But that could take a little bit of time. So now we're going to go into the scissor work on top. So I just wet his hair a little bit more, and I'm just going to point cut the entire top. Honestly, he said he wanted some off the top. I honestly don't know how much I'm taking off the top, guys. Like, I'll just let your eyes guesstimate. But he just said he wanted some off the top, and I just took some off the top. I figured, hey, let me just point cut it. I know what the look we were going for, which, we still wanted to do the messy look where he could style it like either spiky or quiff it or comb over it. So here's one little tidbit. When you're styling like longer hairstyles, you want to cut the person's hair where they can style it 2 to 3 different hairstyles, maybe more. This is one thing you want to do. You don't want to cut someone's hair where they can only style it one way. And some clients may or may not tell you this, but a lot of times when I'll cut people's hair, I'll cut their hair where they could style it 2 to 3 different ways so they're not stuck with one hairstyle. So it's not like it's a bald fade with a 2 or 1.5 or 1 on top, which that's the only look you're going to get throughout the look of your hairstyle. With this one, it's a little bit different. He can wake up, feel like he wants a classic comb over look, and boom, I cut it where he can do that. Or if he wants to have the spiky look, more edgier look, he can do that. If he wants to quiff his hair, he can do that. And it's all in the way the hair is cut. So as you see, I'm just point cutting, coming all the way through here, just putting loads of texture in here. And of course, removing some bulk while I'm at it. And we're still going to come back in later and add even more texture to this haircut because of the type of styling that we wanted to go for in this video, and even if he wanted to do it himself. So as you see there, some guys style their hair that way. You see he could wear it like a faux hawk, he could wear it like a comb over, he could wear a quiff, he could wear the spiky look. But I was just basically combing his hair just to see if there's any irregularities in the hair. So So we turned him to the mirror, and he said he wanted just a little bit. I just saw something. I was like, let me take off this little bit right here. So now we're just gonna do the edge up, and I'm gonna be honest. After you see this, you'll probably say to yourself, why'd you even edge them up? Because it doesn't look like there's any difference. And I'm not gonna lie, you're probably right, because it doesn't look like much of a difference, but we just cleaned it up. So, you know, just making it nice and clean for him. You know, we, by all means, we could have left it natural, and it is what it is. But this haircut was a good one. We actually decided to do this at like the last minute. I wasn't even planning on recording this haircut, but I figured, hey, it's a good one, so we can do it, get a nice full length for you guys. And I could also show you guys my new fading system versus my old fading system in comparison. So just a little touch up here with the wall half. You know, of course, you see stuff as barbers and things like that. So now I'm styling his hair, or really not styling, but I'm combing his hair like he would a comb over, right? Because we need to connect the long hairs to the short hairs. So as you see there, I'm about to part his hair at the recession right there. Right at the recession, I part his hair, and I got the long hairs away. As you see there, that little triangle section, like if I was doing like a pomp or something. I'm just gonna bring the clipper in, close the lever, and I'm gonna kill all this hair, because we want this to connect and we want it to flow. And boom, like you can, like I say, you can use the scissors, you can use clippers. I typically will always use scissors with him, but with this one, I said to myself, let me do the clippers, especially for the video, so you guys can see a more simpler thing, because I know people have problems with clipper over comb, well not clipper, but scissor over comb as well, which in my opinion, that's a little bit harder than clipper over comb. But as you see, I'm just going all the way around, connecting it, and you can see how it flows into the shorter hair. So now I'm going into the recession area. You can probably see this. A lot of times you'll see people come through with the scissors and do this. I'm just using the clippers just to show you guys that you can do this with clippers. You don't have to worry about the scissors all the time. I honestly could have cut the top of his hair with clippers. Maybe I should have done that in this video. Maybe I'll do it in another video, actually, now that I think about it. I'll try and do that in another video. So now I'm just connecting that fringe of his to where it actually would flow with the comb over. And you can see he has like it's not a cowlick, he has a scar there. So, and it made his hair grow very, in a weird manner now. So it's almost like a cowlick because it just sticks up, but he had an accident. So his hair just grows funky right there in that little section. And of course, you know, he still has product in his hair, guys. Like I always recommend people shampoo the person's hair, and you know, so there's no imperfections or dirt or whatever in the person's hair, and makes it easier to cut. But in this one, I was just like, I don't care. I'm just gonna cut his hair with product in it. So as I was like cutting his hair, doing the top, like you could feel the product still in his hair, and you can still see the hair has some shine because of the product. So now what I'm doing is I'm adding very specific texture. So as you see him like twirling his hair, and I'm coming in with the thinning shears or blending scissors, and I'm really creating texture in isolated areas. So I'm like twisting it as if his hair would be spiked. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what the hell I was just thinking. I had like a brain fart, but I'm twisting his hair as if, you know, it has the spike look. What this is going to do when his hair is dry, where it's no product in it and it's free, it will naturally show off the texture more, where he doesn't have to use tons of product. But as you see, there's still product in his hair. Like it's funny, like as I'm combing through his hair, like I could feel the product. And if you're curious what product he has in his hair, he has my paste in his hair. And the paste has some good hold to it. obviously, because you'll see in this video, I don't put any product back in his hair because he was going to the gym after this. So I didn't want to put a bunch of product in his hair on top of the product that he had already, because who wants product sweating in your eye at the gym? Like, that's the worst thing that you would want. So as you see, I'm like just twisting isolated little areas and just trying to create that textured look. I'm gonna come back with a blow dryer and just kind of get rid of some of the moisture in his hair, just try and dry it out, because of course the product is still in there. So it's kind of, unless I shampoo his hair, the product is not gonna completely go away. You know, it would have been better if I could have put the product in on a clean surface and you could actually really see how this texture will pop with the right product, because I would have really loved to use like a matte clay where it's like no shine, a lot of hold, and you know, you can get in and get that nice piecey look. But I did the best I could with what I was dealt with. He even said that, oh, if you want to put some product in for the video, you can. I just didn't want to do it because I know how it is, you know, going to the gym and all that stuff with product in your hair. It's the last thing you want. So you see all the texture there. I'm just twisting up some little pieces, just giving him this nice textured look. And the thing is, with this style, you got to be careful, because if the person doesn't have like high hair density, you don't want to have too much scalp exposure, because it's like if someone has hair that doesn't have a lot of hair density, whose hair may be fine, you know, depending upon the style, you don't want to put like something with a wet look, because it will create scalp exposure, which you don't really want that technically on certain hairstyles. On some you do, but on some you don't want that. So I'm just basically maneuvering his hair to different ways that I'd like it. But you guys will have to see in another tutorial where if I do a similar style to this, I'll come in and do it dry with no product in the hair prior. So as you saw, like I just textured a little piece. It was just a little long for my liking. But as you see, like this is a real popular style, really cool style that you've seen throughout the years. I'm just combing a lot of the little extra hair that was textured. You can't see it on the camera, but I can see it. And of course, you know, it didn't help that he had product in his hair. So a lot of the hair tends to stick to the skin, which is why I was so happy that I could brush off a lot of that hair. So I'm just using the edges, just cleaning the hair behind the ears. Yeah, and that's one thing you guys want to do, is just make sure you get the hair on the ears, because what happens a lot of times is some people's hair grow really far down on the earlobe, on the top of the earlobe. But if it's hard to get with like your trimmer or 5-0 or whatever, or even get a shaver in there, I prefer you guys use a razor in that little portion. So this is the look, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got something good from this tutorial. And I'm curious if anyone can tell me what I need to do to fix on the left side of his head. I know what it is. I'm just curious to see if any of you know what it is. But share this video if you know anyone that may find this helpful, or may have struggled with this type of haircut, or maybe the fade or whatever it is. You can see the different angles. Fade looks good. You see it looks a lot different at this angle. It's funny looking at fades from a top angle, looking at it from the bottom up, because the way the light hits a fade can really determine your perception of it. So it's one of those things when you're taking pictures and video, you got to be cognizant of where the fade is, what you're presenting to your audience versus the relation to the light. So don't forget to subscribe, guys. I'll see you guys in the next full length. It's been your man, I Do It, signing out. I'll holla.